Dear Diary Day 14. And I know we're all super depressed because, 2 more weeks. But I say don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, maybe it's going to be a good thing, and I'll illustrate the point. I lived in the Yeovil in the 80s. Uh, you know, I lived in a service department. I was around a lot because I was dodging the army, so I couldn't work too much. Anyway, and there's the guy cleaned the flat, Zulu guy called Elvis. I mean, I once asked him, I said, Elvis, what's your African name? He said, no, that is my African name. Anyway, he knew that I liked to laugh, and I think he had a big book of 101 big jokes or something, and he'd learn them, and every time he came to clean, he would tell me a joke, but he said, tell me a sort of a bad joke really badly. Anyway, he was a nice enough guy. I was sitting on the balcony one day, and there was a hell of a noise, and I was shooting and screaming and whatever, and they were robbing the Ned Bank. It was like 150 meters away, and they robbed the whole thing. Drama. Anyway, another day in Joburg. 24 hours later, the flat is surrounded by cops. I'm sitting on the balcony, same moment. Look, these cars are pulling up, vans, I don't know, all kinds of things. And I think, oh my God, they've come for me. That banned book on my bookshelf, I should have got rid of it. Anyway, turns out they'd come for Elvis, because Elvis was a member of a bank robbery gang. I think there's a name for that, whatever. Anyway, and these guys were clearly geniuses because they'd robbed the bank 150 meters away from where Elvis lived. Anyway, next minute, they're marching Elvis out of the building, 2 big dustbin bags full of cash, handcuffs, whole thing, shove him in the back of the van, off they go, never see the guy again in my life. 24 hours later, going out to visit a friend, see these 2 fellas, likely lads, coming up the fire escape, going, I wonder what they're up to. Anyway, off I go, come back 40 minutes later. The entire building, cops everywhere. I think, oh my God, they've come for the book. Why didn't I get rid of it? They're even in my flat. Turns out my accommodating flatmate had let them in. They'd set up headquarters because those 2 guys had been sent by Elvis to kill the other cleaners who'd pimped on him. And they'd burst into the room, and the first guy had burst in, his gun had jammed, and the other cleaners had leapt on him and, overpowered him and called the cops. And now the cops were, investigating. Taking too long. And next minute, there's one little guy with the moustache. He's not being too friendly, starting to ask me questions. What do you do? All the things I don't want to answer. And I'm looking around my room, and I think, oh my God. And then he's looking through my bookshelf. And I'm going, oh my Lord. And then he sees the book. And he looks at the book, and he looks at me, and he gives me a wink. So, there you go. Don't judge a book by its cover.